and it's you got the sides. I'm almost done with the side. I got to do the other side, but everybody on YouTube, the front of the bar is looking better than I thought it would. Thank you, Roxy, for telling us to go horizontal. I did it again. What did I do last time that all right, let's take it off. I turned off the camera with my, I just don't understand why that's there on the side. It's like, don't have you can't just turn off the camera. All right, here we go. I'm going to get this in. Bear with me, folks. There we go. Let's make sure I'm in the picture. I don't have to get tonight because no one's jumping in. I don't have to quite get. Let's see. I like to get close. I'm going to go check. Whoa. Why is that causing me problems? All right. Good. That's looking good. Let's go check out YouTube now. Make sure everything is working. I was on YouTube. Here we go. Scotchy Bourbon boys. We are live. Let's see if I'm in the middle. I'm hoping to be in the middle. There it is. Yeah, a little bit off to this. You got a little bit there. All right. I don't think I got Bourbon boys. All right. We are live. Let's see if I'm in the middle. I'm hoping to be in the middle. Yeah, that's looking good. Yeah, a little bit off to this. You got a little bit. All right, let's see if why is it crooked? All right, let's uncrooked this real quick for camera adjust. Thanks everybody. Should be starting in a couple minutes. I'm gonna see if I can. I want to know why. Oh, it's probably leaning. Don't want that. Right there. Oh, that's because it wasn't going straight. That's what it was. All right, there we go. That should have done it. Let's pull myself up just a little. There we go. That should do it there too. I gotta still make sure I don't knock my thing on. All right, that's looking good. All right, and I'm in the middle. I should be in the middle. I'm kind of behind the. Let's see. We'll take a look. I went a little lower. Awesome. Yep. All right, that's looking good. All right, and I'm in the middle. I should be. There we go. Kind of behind the. All right, we'll do the. Welcome everybody to our podcast. Let us know where you're from and what you're sipping on tonight. We monitor comments, so feel free to chime in. There we go. Drop that in. Couple people on tonight. Welcome. Tonight we are doing the podcast tonight is going to this awesome bottle here, which is a Rabbit Hole Cask Strength OHLQ pick. We'll go into some details with this. Plus here is the Cave Hill pick from the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. And then as a surprise, we've done this before on the podcast, but I decided to bring out the Race King from the Founders, signed by whatever Javi. So he signed it. Both the box and the bottle for me. You can see the box sign there. There it is, and the bottle signed right there. Is it a see? Yeah, the see-through. Wait, like that. There it is. There's the sign. We'll get into some Kaveh. We'll get into some of everything that's going on with that. We'll get into that a little bit tonight. That's going to be fun. Getting smoked out by these. So here in Ohio, no, we don't have the wildfire problem that you're having now. That was John Ritt asking that question. We're going to get ready to get this podcast going. I'm starting to get pretty good at getting it. Everybody on YouTube, you'll hear it, but the people on Facebook will be able to see it. So let's get this podcast off, hopefully soon. Not much. Oh, Walker's on tonight too. Like I said, guys, tonight it's going to be a little bit short because 100% I'm pretty much it's going to be a little short because I got to finish up, but afterwards we'll still be able to have a little bit of time. So here we go with the podcast. This is going to be the Rabbit Hole Hiegold Ohio's barrel pick cask strength. So let's get this going. You're gonna about 45-second ad, and then you'll hear the or see the. What is going?
Drinking bourbon, sipping on some scotch. We get a little wild, but it's sure fun to watch. We love what we do, we're drinking every brew. Man, we talk some shit, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy bourbon boys, raising hell, making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy bourbon boys. We're here to have fun and we hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun.
Yeah. All right. Welcome back to another podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Tiny here right now. Gonna take you on this journey. This podcast, one of the things I didn't get to I'll just go into tonight. We're gonna talk about this rabbit hole Hiegold that the state of Ohio just released, and I did not get their just released. When I went out looking, supposedly my store had it, but it was showing that it had last year's release. But I still picked up the one that I was looking for last year. I couldn't find. I found. So the labels are cool and everything with that. But what I wanted to get a little bit into is, just a couple of the our sponsors. Just really quick, go into it. We've got Middle West Spirits here in Columbus that Ryan Lang does a fantastic job. Right now, their craft distillery is open for for that's where you would go to see and get the distillery tour along with their service bar restaurant. That's open now. Their main distillery is still not open to the public. I don't believe there's tours or anything like that. They're getting there. They're getting up to speed. They've been distilling. It was a year in March. They've got it up and running. That main distillery is absolutely huge. You want to check them out in Columbus, Ohio. But then also the big news is they just bought Old Elk. So we will be having Ryan. I'm going to try and get down there and have Ryan on so that he can talk about the purchase of Old Elk and Middle West Spirits. Also, we have uh, we have Whiskey Thief Distillery. Great distillery there. They sponsor us. It's so fantastic. I'm going to be going down in July. I'm going to be going down in July, and maybe the third week in June also. So I'm going to be stopping there. So many things have been happening, but they just hired Lisa Roper Wicker, and then also Benjamin Eve, who's been on this podcast a couple times. One time with the Kentucky Artisan distillery, and then also with Alan Bishop one time. And so it's fantastic. They've got Kelly and Derek there, so they're distilling, and they're a single barrel pick every day, all day experience. But with Lisa Roper Wicker, you got to think that they might do they might start making some batches, and that is her strong point. Lisa, formerly of Widow Jane, and so that's kind of cool. And then also the Spirit of French Lick. You got to take our two newest barrel picks. They're fantastic. If anybody's interested, let me know. I can get you a taste of those. And then also we have Jason Giles at Rosewood Bourbons and Ryes. He basically he buys Kentucky and Indiana bourbon. He basically trucks it down to Texas, ages it at least one more season in the hot Texas sun, and produces some fantastic whiskey. And then, not last but not least, there's Alan Bishop. Alan Bishop, a friend of the podcast. He is now at Old Homestead after leaving Spirit of French Lick, but his stuff is at Spirit of French Lick, and he's making all the new stuff at Old Homestead. Fantastic. But he runs the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute, which gives you all the information that you need about distilling. Check that channel out. And then also, if you have Ghosts, you have everything. That is my favorite podcast. It mixes two of my favorite things. The ghosts from the spirit world, and also ghosts in the spirit world. So it got spirits and spirits and spirits. There you go. All right. Anyways, so we talked about Lisa Roper Wicker being at Whiskey Thief. And Whiskey Thief with Walter is one of our favorite places to go. There's once it was just a dream to have them as a sponsor. We loved their whiskey from the start. We loved the experience from the start, and now they're just growing and expanding. I had made a comment. I guess I picked I ask specific people to be sponsors of the podcast because one, I love their bourbon and I love the people. It's a double combination. So everybody that sponsored the podcast, they're special. It's a special thing. And so that's pretty awesome. But so much has been happening in the world, and we're going to be covering that a little bit coming up in a couple future podcasts about how many distilleries have gone online, and then I mean, just even Heaven Hill. I mean, there's just so much happening in the industry and how people and what they're making. So it's been kind of cool. Now we haven't covered uh, Rabbit Hole in a while, and I just wanted to give you we pretty much when we've covered it before, we gave you the background. Uh, I've got the information right here, right? I can just call it up and uh, let's see. Yeah, we go right here. Yep. So Kaveh Zamanian, he is the owner and the person who started it. Him and his wife started the distillery, and when they first started it, it's like the whole name of it is that at one point he was doing this and they just put it all on the line and went down the rabbit hole. And Kavi has been, I've got to meet him a couple times. I haven't had him on the podcast, but we've had a good amount of rabbit hole. One of my favorite bourbons is Cave Hill. What I love about Cave Hill, just the regular off the shelf Cave Hill, is that Cave Hill tastes to me like what bourbon should taste like when you smell it in the rick house. And their lineup is Cave Hill, Hiegold, which is a high rye bourbon, Daringer, which is a sherry cask finished bourbon, and then there's Boxergrail, which is a sour mash rye whiskey. So that's their. Now, then they come out with their Founders Collection, and that is the one, the Race King over there. The Founders Collections range in price, and they can be really expensive and just normal expensive. The Race King was $330. There's been $1,200 and $1,400, $2,500 Founders Collections, but the $330 Race King, honestly, it's the most I've ever spent on one bottle, and I still have a little bit left, so I'll be tasting some of that tonight. And then they have their single barrel series, and their single barrel series, in my opinion, is very super unique because what happens is, um, it it's a creative. The bottle is the labels are created specifically for the individuals. I mean, so when this there was the first year at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, it was Alice in Wonderland labels throughout. These single barrels have and they create artwork for the special, the special barrel pick. Now, this one was really cool. This was Cave Hill, and it's not the right. Cave Hill is usually a black label, but this one was inspired from the heart in Edgar Allan Poe's uh his short story. And here's what it says on the back. It's funny because they're right here. I got everything, so I should be good. We'll drop these babies on and put this here. So this single barrel expression has been gracefully aged for 4 years, 2 months in a hand-selected and harvested in the mingling of the whiskey and wood yielded an exquisite spirit like no other at full cask strength, with nothing added and nothing taken away. This is a one of a kind, a whiskey and a sensory experience cherished. And I want to say, so this one actually has the artist's name, and this one was Romeo and Juliet for the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. It was 2022, 123, and it was 105 proof. Now this one has the art. It should have. Now this one is called the Hatter, It's an Ohio exclusive from 2024, and the artist's name is Guy Noy. It's GUI or Q. So you got the artist name. Bottle 79 of 198. Release was 2023. 106.2 proof. 108.2 proof. So that's kind of cool. They actually have the artist's names and the different things. Now, I'm going to quick do a share of the screen here. Let's go back, share. I'll pick that same. All right, this is going to be a second. I'm going to switch over to. All right, let's click to exit full screen. I swear to, yep, there it is. All right, so the rabbit hole, this one is releasing the week of this just released. You guys can see that it's got that jet set bottle, and I thought it was really cool. I want to get that, and then when you I'll learn what. So here we go. Honoring the adventures. So this bottle that they picked honors the adventurers and innovators and creators who built our country's foundation. Hiegold is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey named after Christian Hiegold, a 19th century German immigrant stonecutter. Its unique mash bill layers a high percentage of malted German rye with malted barley and light notes of white paper, aged in charged American white oak barrels from Kelvin Coolidge. It mellows in the sweltering summer and freezes in the winters of Kentucky for over 4 years. The single barrel selections are aged longer than classic Hiegolds, come from one single barrel, and are bottled at cask strength. This special release of Hiegold barrel cask strength features label designs by Mark Gagnon, who was commissioned by Kaveh Zamanian. I think the Rabbit Hole's founder, CEO, and chief whiskey officer, to pay tribute to Ohio's renown as the birthplace of aviation. This design honors the pioneering spirit of Ohio's aviation giants, from Wright brothers to astronauts John Glenn and Neil Armstrong. Just as Hiegold celebrates the trailblazers who shaped America, these labels pay homage to Ohio's aviation pioneers. The legacy continues with more than 35,000 Ohioans employed in the aerospace industry. These 11 barrels were selected by Rabbit Hole and OHLQ solely for Ohio and not available outside the state. So that's what this one, and they go on to give you tasting notes. But I really thought that, honestly, that design by Mark is fantastic. And that's one of the things about the single barrels that I find pretty cool. But this was last year's, and this was the Hatter, and all of them were cool. They had this really kind of exquisite, cool design. So I really love the labels and everything like that. And let's just get back so I can see your comments. Telltale Heart. Yep. The Telltale Heart was the one. This one was Romeo and Juliet. No, this was actually, it says Romeo, but I thought that was the Telltale Heart. Anyways, but so you got like a really cool art on the bottles, and they're exquisite, and they kind of set themselves, and that's their single barrel program. And it's unlike any other one that I've ever, seen. He's hiring and commissioning artists to put each individual artwork. I mean, it's one thing to design a label, but specifically for each release is kind of a really cool kind of thing. So, all right, the one guy says everything tastes the same. Okay, bro, that's a cap. All right, Russian vodka, good. I'm just checking out the YouTube comments. Yeah, we got a couple. So we got someone on from Russia. We got whatever, and that's kind of cool. So tonight, remember www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. I've got my Scotchy Bourbon Boy t-shirt on, and I've also got my Scotchy Bourbon Boy Glencairn. Those are available on the website, or you can just ask me and I'll ship it to you. Pay Venmo, I can get you that. And then also we are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X, along with Apple, Spotify, and iHeart as far as our audio podcast. But no matter what you do, listen or watch, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, leave good feedback. Like, comment, okay, and leave good feedback. There you go. I'm sure I left some like, listen, comment, subscribe, and leave good feedback. There you go. I've got it all. We appreciate everything that you guys do. Also, with tonight, I found, because Cave Hill is one of my favorite regular off the shelf bourbons. They have a unique bottle design, but the bourbon that comes out of them are pretty good. So early on during COVID, we actually stopped with uh, Adam Edwards, and he was the brand ambassador, and we got a tour and we did a tasting with everything there. I do know that we also covered it early on. So this is our first, our next endeavor. We did one with the Race King, but this is it's been a while since we've revisited. Rabbit Hole is in Louisville, and the distillery is a very modern style distillery. Fantastic, well designed. It is put in there to with the idea of the sun and architecture and design of windows, like when you're walking up the stairs to go up and around to the next floors. When you're in the distilling room, higher and higher, you're wrapping around the still, and as you go up higher, the windows and the blinds and everything, uh, the detail of that modern distillery that was paid to design it is spectacular. It's definitely a must tour if you're there. And then you end up at a bar on the top floor, the sixth floor, looking out over Louisville, and absolutely a fantastic experience when you go. I highly recommend it. Uh, and then you can, from time to time, they've got releases and bottle signings, and you can meet Kaveh. I've met him, and I think this year through the podcast, I'm going to try and get him on at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. That's my goal. All right. So let's open up this Hiegold. This is a fresh crack. It's like some people in their comments, I just don't understand when they're just cruising through and they're just jerks. I mean, it's like, and what really surprises me on YouTube is the amount of political. There's nothing political about this podcast. I mean, we drink and taste bourbons and whiskeys from around the world in America, but we don't ever discuss politics. But somehow, like 90% of the comments on YouTube are just idiotic political comments. I'm not saying I don't agree or disagree or whatever, all of them, but it's just crazy. Anyways, I got it opened. We did read what this one was, but I should give you a little bit. Yeah, that was the green. Okay, so this single barrel, toasted and charred, American barrel, including a whiskey yielded spirit like no other, full cask strength with nothing added and nothing taken away. This one of a kind whiskey is a sensory experience to be cherished, and signed by Kaveh. Kaveh, not Have, Kaveh. So this one is 108 proof. Oh, what's the age? Oh, look for the age. 10-6. Usually, you get the age on a single barrel. Wow, that is crazy dark. But for some reason, this one does not have it. That is crazy. Straight bourbon whiskey, limited artist edition. All right, no age. The other one was 4 years, 2 months. It actually had an age statement on it. All right, here we go. We are about to enter into the old Louisville barrel bottle breakdown. What's awesome is that the barrel bottle breakdown is now working, thanks to my son Knobs, who comes on from time to time. He something I couldn't figure out for months and months, and he figured it out in 5 minutes. So, yeah, internet and a-holes on YouTube. There's no doubt about it. Kelvin Cooperage, barrel maker from Louisville, Kentucky, not Calvin Coolidge, the president. I did say Kelvin. You can go back. I said Kelvin Cooperage, not Coolidge. No. All right. Anyways, now Hiegold. I'm gonna see if I can get some information on Hiegold. Let's just really quick. All right, let's see. We went there. We can go back one. All right, starts other bourbon. Let's go to Hiegold. All right. We're gonna try and get. All right. We have the United States. Toasted and charred barrels. Okay, so this one is processed the wood-fired flame. We slowly toast our barrels for 20 minutes with the flame before charring. That gets some of the sugars out. There's family whiskey. Let's see if I can get a review somewhere. Let's see if I can. Sometimes I can. Usually, this should not be a bad one. Breaking bourbon. There we go. Yes, I'm over 21. All right, rabbit hole Hiegold. All right, let's see. Okay, so Hiegold's mash bill, courtesy of Breaking Bourbon, is 70% corn, 25% rye, and 5% malted barley. The regular version, this version here was $99.99, but the regular MSRP is $70. Clinical sign, yep. All right, so you're looking at 70% corn, 25% rye, 5% malted barley, and that is German rye that they use for because it's the Hiegold. Now, uh, if anybody is, we are about to, 25. I think 70, 25, 5 is 25 is pretty high on the mash bill, but still corn forward. Anything above, there's some ryes that are like 68 corn, where they, rye bourbons, and then you're looking at then, 5, which takes you to 7, 20. You got a little bit higher, but this is one. Hey, Matt-san, cheers. But I would say we're about to do the Old Louisville Whiskey Company bourbon bottle breakdown. Old Louisville is a fantastic place. Everyone, you gotta check it out. It's in Louisville. As you Amin does a fantastic experience there. You got to go there to even know what I'm talking about. Great. Uh, he's got a great. Why tonight? For some reason, the words just. I'm just kind of like it's been the heat I think is getting to me, but he's got a great gift shop, and then also he will take you back. Have you try some of his bourbons. A lot of times it's right out of the barrel, and they're fantastic. He doesn't sell anything younger than 7 years old, so his stuff is similar to Old Carter. It's 7 years and older. So when you're getting in, and he knows the different barrels, it's a place where there are no rules. All bets are off when you're there. So, anyways, you got to check out Old Louisville Whiskey Company. If you set it, you go check out the website. If you schedule a time, just tell them that Tiny and the Scotchy Bourbon Boys you found out about it. So, Old Louisville Whiskey Company, and this is the barrel bottle breakdown. The way that the barrel bottle breakdown is we have a rating system in which we rate the nose, we rate the body, we rate the taste, and we rate the finish. And we give them knocks with our bung hammer, and on our old William Dalton French lick barrel, we give 4 knocks for the smell, and and also the nose, and then 4 knocks for the body, and we give 5 knocks for the taste and the finish. So you can have a total of 18 for a perfect bourbon or whiskey. But if there's one category that's exceptional, you can add an extra knock, which is called a butt up. So with that said, let's get going, and everybody's sipping along. I know that John said he was saying, I believe that he was able to pick up. He was sipping on a Middle West earlier. I don't know what if I had to imagine. If I had to imagine, I would say Walker probably sipping on a Maker's Mark, and Randy is probably a Detlinger. Probably. There you go. All right. The nose on this is very similar to a lot of. I'm trying to pick up what I'm picking up. I would say fresh iron sheets with it's a little starchy, I guess. Maybe my nose is off. I'm gonna check. That's just weird. It's a little bit of caramel on that. Let's see. This has been around for a while. I bet you this Cave Hill has a. That's a cinnamonier one. Let's drop the Cave Hill in. You can put the two together. Maybe we'll double barrel it. It's weird that I'm not picking up a lot. Cherries, more cherries on the Cave Hill. All right, let's try it again. ethanol. All right. So the nose is very neutral, especially for a cask strength. What happens in my glass, I'm going to say this is a very the viscosity on this bourbon is high. The mouthfeel is oily and the legs are like long. Like they extend the whole glass, and when they appear, they're mid-range. Yeah, that's kind of a nice. It's very neutral. I'm interested. I gotta see something. Is it my palate tonight? I'm just not hugely on, or is it? Let's see. No, it's not. That tastes like Whiskey Thief. All right. That is strange. All right, here we go. I wonder what I got best, like a fresh baked apple, like a baked apple with some cinnamon. Let's see what the kind of tasting notes they get. Caramel gingerbread sweetness. I'm not picking up. Okay, I'll give you gingerbread. But there's no caramel. Apricot and a touch of oak. I'm gonna say that I could do the oak, but it's more of it's more like an apple with some gingerbread and some oak, but it's medium to light, is what they say, and it's too neutral for me. It's one of the most neutral. Wow, that is unique. I don't think I've ever had a bourbon that I had to smell this. It's so light. All right. All right. Finish. Wow. I think the German rye takes over this. Doesn't have a date. It's peppery. Not a I'm not a huge fan. I'm hoping that the Hiegold from this year with the OHLQ has a little bit more of a richer taste. All right. So let's do this. Let's do the old Louisville barrel bottle breakdown of Hiegold. Rabbit holes aren't overly sweet. They're more like what you when you walk into a rick house and you smell those barrels aging. You don't smell a lot of caramel and vanillas happening. It's I can't describe it. It's a mixture of wood and whiskey, and it's the definition of the essence of bourbon. And that's what the rabbit hole line has always brought out for me. They're not they're it's not a super sweet thing, but the rye, although it's a high rye, comes out. It's not off-putting, but it's very just, yeah. Unlike the Cave Hill, which defines it, and I'll have to try that in a sec. But let's just start this off. All right. So the nose, I'm trying. It's been in there a while. It's pepper, and I'll go with ginger spice. Maybe some dark chocolate. No. So it's very light, and so the most you could give on the nose is a 4. I would say for a barrel cask strength nose, this is a 2. It should be much more front forward. I hope everybody heard that. So then let's go. Body. So everything doesn't get your cheeks. 108 proof, but the mouth feel is probably the best part about this. So I would say the body's a 3. We got 3 knocks on the barrel. But that brings me to taste. Again, the rye aspect of this there I want more flavor taste. It's very neutral. There's a lot of peppers in it. So I'm going to have to go with the 2 on this one. All right. So as far as the finish goes, it's not a real long finish. And there's a little bit of mint, like a spearmint on the finish. Leaves your mouth feeling fresh, but you could give up to a 5 on this, and I'm gonna give it a 3. So I don't smell yeast, Randy, in a rick house. I don't usually. It's always so cool in there. I smell yeast when they're doing a cook at a distillery, but in the rick house itself, I don't pick up any yeast. I always pick up the mixture of the wood of the rick house, the wood of the barrel, and then also the whiskey. I always smell yeast on a cook. I mean, when you're in Bardstown at Kentucky Bourbon Festival, that cook that hits you from Barton's is always just such a fantastic smell. It smells like they're baking bread. Um, I want to say the taste. Taste is a 3 too. So the total of the barrel bottle breakdown of this Hiegold Rabbit Hole OHLQ 2024 pick, I give it 11, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 out of 18. So there you go. I love the artwork on it. This is a great bottle to have on your bar. I mean, when you pick it. I will say now I've got the Cave Hill right here. And I'll barrel bottle break down this Kentucky. This pick was from Distillers Road 2 years ago. I didn't pick it up this year because they were the same labels again. So I was happy with that. You got to pick and choose what you. I like the. There's this candy apple. It's crazy. With a little gingerbread. It's a little sweeter than the Hiegold. This one does exactly what I love. I pick up that wood flavor, a little bit. A little bit of dark chocolate. I would say this one, instead of a 2, I'd take this to 13. I'd give the nose a 3 instead of a 2, and then the body's similar, 3 on the body, but I would take the taste up to a 4, and then the finish back to. I would take the finish right back to the 3. Now, here is. Let's see what happens when you mix them. That's something. That's something you can do. I mean, there's no rules when you're drinking whiskey, especially. I would say mixing an infinity decanter is always fun to do. This infinity barrel, people do little barrels and they put the bottom in whatever they do, but mixing the two, it makes the nose sweeter. The two mixed together, all of a sudden, there is a gingerbread cookie flavor that wasn't that. I mean, like it was gingerbread before. Now it's a gingerbread cookie by mixing the two together. What happened when I mixed the two together in the glass? So one of the cool things that I'll let you know, I did a decanter, and it's I actually should have it. It's right over here. And this is, I had an exorbitant amount of one of my favorite things is Woodford Double Oak. So I have barrel picks. I probably had maybe 2/8 of a bottle left on like 4 or 5 Woodford barrel picks, and I put them together. When I put them together in this at Halloween. It was Halloween. Nothing was in this. It was like the week after Halloween. I'm like, I need some space. So I'm like, let's just mix all these together. When I put them together, it wasn't good. But I tried this about a month ago or 2 months ago. Let's see what happens now. And one of the things I'll tell you, one of the things that happens when you mix whiskey together, like I did in the cup. Mixing in the cup, the two whiskeys repel each other. The smell was better. But there's this mallow cup or bland chocolate. It's something, put it this way, you could tell they don't want to mix. They're repelling each other. And when you taste it, there's a blandness to it that you would have to leave it so that they could chemically mix together and become one. Now, this is the Woodford Double Oak with like 5 barrel picks in it. The first time I tasted it, it wasn't good. The last time I tasted it, it was better. But I'm going to tell you this time, now that they've all gone together, that it's like a butterscotch bomb. It's like sucking on a Werther's candy. I mean, it's just crazy what whiskey has to do when you do something to it. Steve Coombs one time, he talks about Steve Coombs talks about one time when he was on the podcast with Randy Prass. I brought a Weller, and I had been driving all around Kentucky with it. And when we did it, he wasn't a big fan, but I left him with the bottle, and he tried it like a week later, and he Facebook messaged me how awesome it was, and that while I was driving around must have disturbed the bourbon. So, believe it or not, the chemical compounds in bourbon and how they mix together has and once they, like, for instance, you buy this bottle. I bought this bottle yesterday, but it's been on the shelf for a year at Giant Eagle. But then I grabbed it off the shelf yesterday, drove it home, brought it down here, did a photo shoot with it, picture it, whatever. Then I open it. And so a lot of things happen to it between when they put it in that bottle. So when they put it in that bottle, they put it in, they cap it, they whatever, they put it, they get it in cases, they case it, it waits in a warehouse, then it gets put on a truck, it gets shipped to the state where it's going. It's not shipped on a climate control truck. So if it's 80 degrees or negative 10 degrees, still gets put on the truck. So now those bottles are either subjected to regular heat, normal heat, cold, 60 degrees. It's subjected to some type of weather. If you ship it out west, it's going to be subjected to dryness. If you ship it into the Midwest or into the Florida area, you're going to get more humidity. Then it goes into a warehouse. It's not a climate controlled warehouse. It sits there. Then at one point, it gets pulled out of the warehouse, stuck on a box truck, and it could be an 80-degree day, and that box truck does drops all day long. So it could be subjected and heated up to 85, 90 degrees. And then it's put into a back warehouse at a liquor store, then put on the shelf. Then it sits on the shelf. It waits for you to pick it up. How long does it sit on the shelf? I mean, these are all things that affect how whiskey tastes. It's something that that's why sometimes, I mean, the one thing that all of the people up until about 10 years ago, the main thing they were always looking to do is consistency. Consistency was everything. Most bourbon drinkers, when they go in and they buy their Jack Daniels, their Jim Beams, their Woodford Reserves, they want it to taste the same every time. So what they do on those bourbons, if you ever notice, they're not complex. It's a one flavor thing. Old Tub is one of my favorite one flavor whiskeys. Bourbons. It's bottled in bond. Every time it comes out, it has that one flavor. It's got the Jim Beam-esque kind of thing, but it's 100 proof. It's also got its own thing going. And what I find is it's a great thing to do when I'm doing my fantasy drafts or I'm watching, and I don't want to analyze the whiskey. I just want to pour that I'm just going to drink, and it gives you one flavor that's good. That's but that's easier to keep consistent than something where you've got complexity to it. To consistently put out the same complexity of a complex bourbon is very, very, in my opinion, difficult. And I think we accept, what would you say? We're always looking for inconsistency. We like the inconsistency of the different flavors for the different batches. And that's something that was new to bourbon. And that's something that Elmer T. Lee and, Jimmy Russell and Booker Noe all were the founders of selling inconsistency, that it's special, it's a one-time batch, you're not going to get it again. And in the time period, I think it was a great marketing ploy. Obviously, it started the bourbon boom. And right now, when I first got into this in 2019, we talked about this before. Honestly, you got that. Honestly, in 2000, so when I got into this in 2019, people were not into cask finished whiskeys. They would rip you if you did something like that. That's not bourbon. That's bourbon is this, bourbon is that. But now we're in 2025 and people just look forward to all the different ways that bourbon can be made to be um expansive. I mean, that's why you buy different bottles. You're looking for those in the intricacies of how you can make bourbon taste. So that is something that's been a fun that's been fun to be a part of. And we're going to keep consistently bringing you that type of thing. And I've actually got this gone. Mm. So the Cave Hill, like I said, that went from a 13 out of 18. The last one I'm going to do, I'm here. Well, this is the Founders Collection. Okay, so great. We've already talked about this, but it comes in this awesome box signed by Kaveh. It goes in there, it gives you a ton of detail about what Race King is and all the different stuff. We've been over that, but it's got the outside the distillery is a big, huge, giant awning, and it's got this artwork of the rabbit hole. It's really cool. If you get a chance to get to Louisville, you got to go to the Rabbit Hole Distillery because honestly, it's fantastic. Fantastic distillery. Kaveh gives you an experience that is it's a modern distillery. It's based in it's based in its story, which is very cool, but it's also based in modern distilling techniques using a Vendome, column still. It's not like they're not, they're using the classic column still, but at the same time they put it in this modern setting. But in your Founders Collection, this topper is unbelievable. It's got to weigh to a pound and a half. I mean, it's got that like gold color. You could see all the stuff that's going on with it. Let's see if I can get it right. Yeah, it's really a cool. Let's get it there. There we go. There. Cool, but it's heavy. I mean, if you threw this at a glass window, it'd break it. It's like a rock. So the bottle is, got the rabbit hole, got the rabbit down here. You've got the rabbit hole logo there with the the angle of the bottle's just cool. And this is Race King is double chocolate malt. And honestly, let's see what I love this one. Here we go. What a Thursday, right, guys? What a Thursday. You all went quiet on me. Nose is very similar to the other ones. Yeah. This is like Hiegold and Cave Hill. Still the flavor, not a lot, a little bit sweeter, but that double chocolate malt, you pick up chocolate. It's a Hershey's chocolate bar. It's not a dark chocolate, it's a Hershey's chocolate bar. Not as sweet, but it's not bitter like a dark chocolate. It's not a milk chocolate, but Race King, which, let's see how many, we'll put the glasses back on. It's 109.2, so it's a little bit heavier. 79 out of 1365, limited edition. Whiskey is all about flavor, particularly unadulterated, non-chill filtered expressions at cask strength. With nothing added and nothing taken away, you taste the essence of how grain, wood, thyme, and terroir come together with this distinct bourbon. I went all in on a unique double chocolate malt. 5 distinct grains, 3 different types of malts with a double malt combination of chocolate, wheat, and chocolate barley. Carefully aged in handmade, wood-fired, toasted, and charred barrels, making fine whiskey is a creative art driven by primal desire to turn a simple grain into gold. Race King was a gamble, but fortunately the payout has been outstanding. It doesn't say how old it is. That is one thing on this one. It does not on this. All right, we got that back over there. Let's see if I can pull off how old it is on the bottle. Nope, not there. No age statement. There you go. So, no, not amber on or finished. Have you ever had any of this, Walker? Anyways, so there we go. I will take us offline as far as the podcast, guys. Thanks everybody who was watching. Just know when you're on Facebook and YouTube, we're going to go a little bit longer. Probably not on YouTube. It wasn't a lot of interest on YouTube tonight, but what I will do is keep us on Facebook and then throw up the invitation for a little bit. All right, guys. All right. Thanks everybody. This week's been pretty special. Oh, I want to say that coming up, I've got this bottle here. It is Greg Schneider's new distillery, Four Branches. This is their 250th anniversary of the military bottle. I'm going to get samples out to the people I need to get samples out to. And in the upcoming, not next week, but the following week, either Tuesday or Thursday, hopefully, we're going to have Greg Schneider on, plus the founders of the Four Branches Bourbon. And we're going to be tasting this bottle. I'm excited because, Greg's at a new place. The man knows how whiskey should taste. And when people give him whiskey to work with, he usually makes it taste awesome. This actually is, I believe, a 9-year Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. And I'm looking forward to tasting this. Opening, I'm going to have to open it, send off samples to CT, and Matt wants us. I'll send samples out. Somehow I got to get it to. I'll get it to CT, Matt. I'll get as many people as I can get samples of this bottle. But it came today, and then the coolest thing, it came with this coin, and I'm excited about it. It's that they sent the coin, and it's going to be fun to be a part of what the new place that Greg Schneider's on, and he's going to be on. He's the one that contacted me. He's the one that wanted us to do this. He's such a good friend, Greg. Um, it's like you're part of us, but you're part of me, and everything that you do. I wish I lived closer and we could hang out more. And I just, it's when after we were done at Old Homestead, the last place when we went down to Kentucky and Indiana the last time, and we were at Old Homestead. Afterwards, me and CT checked into the hotel at Old Homestead, and then me and CT headed off. I believe Randy took a nap, and me and CT headed off. And Walker's going away party was at Amore, which is like 5 minutes from Greg's house. But we got to Greg's house. I brought my Magnus bottle, the JW Magnus, and which was the cigar blend that started it all. And we smoked a cigar and had a pour of that, and then we went and had an awesome meal. But this is to support the military and him being part of the military. The story we're going to tell about this bottle is going to be fantastic. Plus, it's got 9-year Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey in there, and I'm excited about it. So that's going to be happening in the next couple weeks. So everybody look forward to that. And I do not believe, Walker, that this is what you're talking about. This is different. It might have been before Greg, but this one's part of Greg. So it's not going to be. It's 9-year. That one, we don't need 3 more years. He hasn't, I don't believe he's distilled anything. Right now, he is making sure that he gets the barrels that they buy and purchase, and source, that he's putting it together to make great bourbon. And I'm telling you, Greg Schneider's palate is every bourbon man's palate. He's got the man's man palate. But anyways, with that said, great to have everybody on tonight. We are the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. www.scotchybourbonboys.com. Make sure you check us out for t-shirts, Glencairns, and then also we're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X, and also on Apple, iHeart, and Spotify, but also all the other podcast formats. But however you watch or listen to us, make sure you like, listen, subscribe, comment, and leave good feedback. Good feedback is everything. If you're listening on Apple, iHeart, please go give us a review. Reviews, 5-star reviews. I need to get our 4-point whatever rating up further. So I challenge everybody to go to Apple and hit that 5-star and give us comment on give us a good review right there. But remember, good bourbon equals good times and good friends. Make sure you don't drink and drive. You live your life, drink responsibly, not live your life. And live your life uncut and unfiltered. Little Steve-O is going to take us out, as he always will. I'm dedicated to you, little Steve-O.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die.
All right. I'm going to shut us. Oh, well, we went up to how much on YouTube right now? All right, guys. I'll leave it on for, we're going to do it like normal. I'm going to throw it out there. You guys join in. Once you guys got it, copy. Here it comes. It's in Spanish. All right. There it is. Go back. There's John. It's just like everybody's coming. Here we go. All right. And Randy, just go figure. Walker, Randy, and now we got. I've never seen anybody have that long of a. Holy crap! That's because you guys are vertical. Here comes Matt in, and he's like,
I'll go horizontal in a minute.
Yeah.
Cheers, Tony. Cheers, John.
What's
Hey,
up,
Walker,
how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right.
I was like,
cheers, Matt and Shauna.
John went upstairs. The dog ate a rabbit, a live rabbit.
Yay! Another one.
It's been a rough hour here.
Watch
I
your
didn't even know
hands.
that was possible. I'm like, oh my God, it's half gone. This is crazy.
Matt, you probably caught that I took my comment down, but I thought that would be funny for you.
What's that?
Did you catch my comment about not flirting with the band or falling in the bathroom?
Flirting with the band or falling in the bathroom?
I saw that.
Yeah. From when we were at the Christmas party.
Yeah, it happens. It happens sometimes.
Cheers, Randy.
Cheers.
Randy, are you driving?
Be careful on the way back from dinner.
I'm riding. My wife's driving.
Oh, you're riding.
Yep, my wife's driving.
Okay.
That's the best way to ride. That's like riding in style.
Yeah. Thank you for keeping my friend and your husband safe.
Thanks for keeping me safe. She says no problem.
So anyway, where did you go, Matt? There you are.
Time to get the dogs back in the house.
I just want to see the rabbit.
What's left of it?
You really want to see the rabbit?
Of course I do.
Can I turn on the flashlight when I do this?
I'm a man.
Yes, you can. You absolutely can, Matt. I've done it.
Okay.
Isn't that the fun part? The cleanup?
No, it's not. Donna seen it and she went to bed.
Matt, was it a full-grown rabbit this time?
Oh, I'm about to show you how big it is. Let me flip this camera. It's in the garbage can.
Sounds like you can get a lucky rabbit's foot out of that.
Get the sawzall out.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
get the saw out. Take 4 feet to the
Just be
taxidermist.
quiet, Walker. Walker, Matt lives in the city. Just
I
stop.
know that, Tiny. I'm
I know.
unless he
I
finds a
was joking,
taxidermist
too.
somewhere in Cleveland.
Where's this rabbit? Are you gonna hold it up?
No,
Oh
there's
my
the guts under the
god,
pizza box.
that is freaking
Oh, man.
awesome!
You see it?
Yeah,
No.
it's, yeah, pizza.
Oh, you guys are something else.
Yeah, grab it, Will. Why don't you?
What
Okay.
Say-
what can you do?
Yeah.
And then,
Like he literally ate half of
Oh
it.
yeah, it's gone.
Dude,
Yeah,
he
it's
was
gone.
like chuck it away like, oh, yummy. I'm like, dude, come on, man.
fill himself up. It's free dog food.
I mean, to be honest with you, that would have been fine with me. I don't know that Shauna would have went for that, but
Well, it's too late.
Matt, Matt,
I mean,
You're
God,
lucky,
for
man.
God's sake, Matt, the rabbit is probably the most for that dog is the most nutritious stuff it's ever eaten.
I mean, it used to live on a farm, so I'm pretty sure this has happened before. I don't think this is like a first time thing. Plus, he did this
Wait,
over the winter.
Yeah, this
Yes.
dog knows what it's doing, Matt.
we were talking
Definitely.
about it over ACDC.
Oh, there you go.
Dude,
Yeah,
I can't
Matt.
imagine how much that bottle would cost if 6 of them cost $600.
So this is just below your cask strength. So this is probably like 10 proof below your cask strength, maybe 15 proof below that. So it costs about $90, but not quite as much as your other bottles cost.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Nope.
Matt, my dog kills deer. They're a lot harder to throw in the trash can.
Holy crap. Yeah, you got to get a shovel out and,
My wife and I
Hey,
drag him
Walker.
across the fence so he can't get back to him. But
Walker, are
That's
you
a hell of
are
man.
you
That's a hell of a chihuahua, Randy. Holy
are
shit.
you interested in that, Walker?
Let me flip. Hold on. Let's see that again, Tiny.
Sitting right up there. See it?
What? Yeah, I can see it. I don't know what it is.
It's 5 barrel picks, including the black couple. You gave me 2 of the barrel picks that I drank of Woodford Double Oak, and they're all down.
Definitely.
You didn't give me the whole bottles, but I drank them down. All of them were like 1. Let's see, 2, 6. So like one, like a less than a third. Okay. And I just put them all in and filled this up to the top. And when I did it, I drank the first one right away. I drank out of it, and it tasted like doo-doo. I mean, it was not good. There was like all this weird crap. It like this bland. It just tasted bland, and nothing. It's like when you put them all together, they like freaked out. Like they were shocked into being, but they didn't blend. They all stayed separate, and then they make this weird taste, just like what I did with the 2 rabbit holes. So I tasted that about a month or 2 months ago, because I did this probably in January. So 2 months ago I tasted it and it was better. But this time, now that it's June, 6 months later, it tastes like a butterscotch bomb. And honestly,
that's awesome, brother.
And honestly, the blackjacks didn't have butterscotch.
No, it didn't, and I was surprised and disappointed at that.
I know.
I think we had cherry from it, if I remember correctly.
That is, now it tastes like it's supposed to taste. It's like you wonder when they're blending everything and they put it together, how long they wait to actually, blend it.
Because there's an art to that, as Ed Blay, kind of showed us. Obviously different whiskey, but same idea.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to end this on YouTube first. All right. Because then we'll
Time,
yes?
while you're doing that, I think we need samples of that. I think between CT, he loves it more than I do, but I'd certainly love to sample that.
All right. I'm gonna
And then I
send-
still got at least